Hi, I'm Carolyn Shavino. I am your career coach. What's happening in the world of work, Aurora? What is happening in the world of work? Every week, I have a special guest, and our guests are business owners, and they are going to provide the community with how they got to where they are in business or how they got to their position and a little bit about themselves so you can see behind the scenes, not just the person in the shoes that they're currently wearing. And then also, what opportunities do their businesses have for this great community of Aurora? So today, my guest is entrepreneur Katika Neal. Hi, Katika. Welcome to What's Happening in the World of Work.
Hi, Carolyn.
How are you?
I'm excellent. Thank you so much.
You are very welcome. Very welcome. So, Katika, take us through your work journey.
Sure.
Like, where did you begin? Where did it all start?
Sure. Well, my first job, I was 14.
What? 14?
14 years old. I worked for the City of Chicago Mayor Daley job program, which I know is still around. It's probably called something else, but they employed a lot of people, and I had my first job through them. And oddly enough, it was an entrepreneurship program. So the very first thing that I ever sold that I created with my own hands were nachos, chips, candies, and things like that.
Really?
That was my very first actual job for pay.
What did you do with the nachos and the chips?
Well, we came together as a group. There were a bunch of us in the program, so we came up with like a name. It was so long ago, but I do remember we had a name. We were in a parking lot, and we were able to just get people off of the street to buy our products and snacks. And
so that's where it started.
That really is where it started, actually.
And there was no fear in that at 14?
I wanted to make money.
Yeah, so there you go.
I didn't really care about fear. I mean, all they could say was no, but we had really good snacks and items. So.
Okay.
And we were kids. So
yes.
Like, yeah.
Fantastic. And after the City of Chicago program, what was your next journey? Tell me 15 or 16 or
Sure. Yeah. Right after that, I went to work for Target. I had a job at Target in retail. I loved that job. I worked for Chicago Public Library. I think I did those together. And I was in school. I was just a working person. I enjoyed working and making money. I was just excited to save money and have money and, do things for myself, even at that young age.
Mm-hmm.
So I did that. I remember retail. I didn't stay in those arenas very long, but, eventually I went into like office type work.
Okay.
I became a receptionist for a staffing firm, and then my life changed forever. And I went into staffing, HR, transportation, things like that.
When you say your life changed forever,
Mm-hmm.
you say that with conviction. You say that with, I found my niche.
Yeah, that was my aha moment. Like, I knew I was not an administrative assistant.
Okay.
That I knew for sure. I don't even want to keep my own things to this day. That just wasn't something for me. So I started to learn the staffing world, just working in the office, and then they started to utilize me in other areas, and then I got promoted. So when I say my life changed forever, it was more so I came in to do one thing,
right,
and then I actually enjoy this. Like, I enjoy helping people find work. I enjoy helping people change their lives, being able to provide for their families, have an alternative to being on the street, robbing people, doing things illegal. I'm the person that helps them feel like they can do something better, something different, provide for themselves, and have a better life. So once I got into that world, it did change my life because it let me know that's something that I had a passion for.
Beautiful.
And I enjoy seeing people be a better version of themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And if I have something to do with that, I feel like I did my part.
Yeah, there is definitely something about having a job where you feel like you're contributing to your family, and you're also contributing to your own goals. You're contributing to what you think you may want to do in life, especially in the staffing arena, where people have an opportunity to walk into an environment and see if it's something they want to do, and check out another environment to see if that's what they want to do. And hopefully, like yourself, something hit when you did find the right spot. Something hit, and that's the greatest feeling. And that's what we're hoping to do with this show, is to give everyone an opportunity to see the different opportunities that are out there. And you really don't have to settle for one thing. You have to really understand where your passion is. But I think people think passion has something to do with, I don't know, skill sets that maybe you're born with or what have you. But, passion could be a lot of different things. Yes. Passion could be helping people, which has nothing to do with the skill sets that you currently have. It has to do with maybe your purpose. Maybe it has to do with the ministry. Maybe it has to do with just what you want to do for society. So anyway, take us down to the next step. You're an entrepreneur. And Katika, you have done so many different things as far as your business piece goes. It's not just one opportunity, it's several opportunities. So take us through one. And what I'd like to know is, why do you have 1, 2, or 3 businesses? Because I think that's key. Everyone needs to fall back. So take us to your number one.
So do you mind if I just explain how I became an entrepreneur?
No, I think that's key. Absolutely key.
Just so everyone knows. So March 11, 2020, which was exactly 5 years ago, just a few days ago.
Yes.
I was able to celebrate 5 solid years of being a full-time entrepreneur. So I haven't punched a clock, received a W-2 since March of 2020.
Congratulations.
And I'm very blessed. I'll tell you something. That layoff from that job during COVID, and no one knew what it was, pandemic, everyone was afraid. We didn't know medication wasn't working right. So we were terrified. So imagine all of that and being told you don't have a job the same day. So that put me in a place where I said, okay, you know what? I never want to feel this again.
Of course.
I never want to be in a place like this again. I don't want anyone to control my income again. And because I knew at 14 that I liked to sell things and I wanted to be an entrepreneur and that I could talk to people, I took that opportunity to just build upon what I already had, which was my tax preparation company, Taxes Made Better.
When did you start preparing taxes?
23 years ago.
Okay. So that was pretty much a side job, or did you do it for yourself?
So I did taxes for Jackson Hewitt. That was my first job, and now they're my competitor. But I used to, it's funny, right? Full circle. But I started with them, just part-time for a couple of tax seasons. And I was like, you know what? I could do this on my own. I could make way more money. Again, I knew what I could do without working for them. So I took that experience and that knowledge, and I gained more education, educated myself, became, we don't have a certification for tax preparation, but you do have credentials. So I received the proper credentials to be able to prepare taxes on my own and receive money for them. So a few years went by and I'm like, I kind of like this, part-time, still working a job, still working 9 to 5s, again, HR world, things like that.
Yes.
And I kept doing it just part-time, but doing it part-time didn't allow me the opportunity to put what I needed to put into my business that exists today.
Okay. So during that time, with the COVID, unfortunately, with many people, they found themselves without. And what I'm hearing you say is, yes, it was a fearful time for everyone. But what you did was you took that fear and you said to yourself, I'm going to use this. I'm going to take my experiences and I'm still going to go out there and I'm going to make money. And you did what people have to do every year, and that's file taxes. So that's so outstanding. It really is. To choose a business that, you dabbled in really, and then to acknowledge that, hey, this is something that is steadfast. This is something that is going to take me forever, should I want it to be.
Mm-hmm.
And now you have individuals that are working with you.
Yes.
So I would like you to take us through that. I mean,
okay.
It's not just about, you're so humble, which is a beautiful thing, but I really want to showcase your true entrepreneurship and the fact that you started dabbling in taxes and then you made taxes your full time. It's a little more than that now.
Okay. So thank you for your compliment. I'm telling you, this is just, it's been an experience. And it's all been great for me. And
Mm-hmm.
I say all been great, including the bad times. Why? Because it still played a part in where I am today.
Absolutely.
So I started out 2016 is when I, established an LLC, and I was no longer a sole proprietor. And I decided I want to do this 100% the correct way, meaning, receive the proper credentials that I needed to work with banks and do things, just expand my business because I wasn't doing it that way where it was really conducive to me. It was more so having to wait on fees and things like that. So it doesn't work like that anymore. Okay. And I figured that out. So 2016, I established the LLC and I started digging, what can I do to be the Katika version of the big box tax companies, but I want to just be me. I don't want to go work for them. What can I do? So I called the IRS and I said, well, if anyone can tell me what to do, you can tell me. So I literally took a pencil. I remember the paper and everything. And I wrote down step by step what she told me because I couldn't find the information that was just clear enough.
Yeah.
And when she gave me the steps and I had to do this, I had to do fingerprinting. I did 30 things back then.
Yeah.
To become qualified. And after I got all of my credentials, I was super excited. I'm like, you know what? Let me put this in full force. So it wasn't that I didn't believe in Taxes Made Better. I needed to believe in Taxes Made Better in a different way.
Correct.
So I had to believe that I could really expand and I could grow. So people started telling people, I started off with 15 clients.
Mm-hmm.
15 clients.
And now?
I have over 500 clients in 29 states.
Exactly. It's just fantastic.
And it's been mostly word of mouth. People telling people about Taxes Made Better.
Right.
But in the name is what I truly represent, making your taxes better.
Correct.
But from that became the Made Better brand because now I want to see how we can make everything better.
And you know what though, Katika, listening to you, you never said I had somebody, taking me step by step along the way. You said I dug. You said I researched. You said I wanted to see how I can do this. So one thing I would like everyone to take with you is so key that you've said, don't wait. Don't wait for somebody to take you by the hand and say, come on, this is how you need to do it. If it's something that you feel you want to do, research. I say this every week. Google is your best friend. Google is my best friend. So I commend you for that. As many times entrepreneurs, and being an entrepreneur myself, many times we will stop and think, we need professional assistance. We will stop and think and maybe overanalyze, where we're going instead of just taking it by the reins and saying, no, I'm going to find a way. I am going to do this. And that's what I hear you saying. So I want to make that very clear. You dug, you researched,
I did.
You found,
I did.
You did.
I did. I did. I'm the type of person, if I look for answers in a human and they don't give them to me the first couple of times,
Yes.
I just go find it myself. But what that did for me, it made me want to help people to learn right? So
Sure.
that's where this other part of my business came in, because I was the person that just didn't get help from people. And it's not me being, helpless.
Right.
It's more so I don't have these skills, or I'm not familiar with this, and you are, so can you, do this? And I feel like when you have people around you that have certain things that they can, help you with or advise you on, then and they're a friend or someone close, then they should do that. That's just how I feel, but that's not always the case, right?
Right.
So I am self-taught in mostly every area that I practice in right now outside of real estate, because that's regulated by, but other than that, no, I learned on my own and became proficient in those things so that I could really truly teach other people without hesitancy.
So you're saying teach other people.
Mm-hmm.
Let's settle in that for a moment.
Mm-hmm.
How are you teaching other people? What people?
So with Taxes Made Better and the Made Better brand, we branched out to do a few other things. So a lot of people kept asking me, oh, you're a tax professional. How come you're not a notary? And I'm like, why do I want to be a notary? What's that about? Why did they make $1? But I didn't read.
Okay.
So once I educated myself and
Again,
I found out
research.
that, oh, no, this is just hearsay, this is what this really is, I became a notary public and a loan signing agent and added that to my business. And then everybody kept asking me, how are you doing this? Because I would just do, post pictures on social media. This was fun. This was great. I made $200 in 30 minutes. And they're like, what are you doing? So then I'm like, it is too much trouble to keep telling people over and over again. So let's do a class. So then classes,
yes,
became a thing because it became high demand. I've taught over 700 notaries and loan signing agents now.
I was just going to ask you how many.
About 700.
Outstanding.
To this day. Some of them were sponsored by wonderful organizations that I partner with, Chicago Urban League.
Yes.
They have paid for participants to take my classes, no charge. And I've also done volunteer work as well. So I love that. I'm teaching people a different stream of income, and they can do it on their own time. So I do have Signatures Made Better. That's the DBA for that.
Okay.
So I do loan signing, probably not during this season, but when I have time. So notary public, loan signing agent, that's something I added first.
Mm-hmm.
And then because I was doing that, I was like, oh, I'm closing on homes. I'm going to actually help people buy homes.
Exactly.
I didn't realize I was going to be doing that. I thought I was going to make $1.
Look at this.
And so my life changed again, because now I can help people buy property or sell property and help them with their dreams come true. I've closed loans for people who had houses in Florida, $2-3 million homes. That's something that I would not have known about if I didn't research and try to figure, I can do this.
Correct.
So I added that to my business. I started teaching other people. I've taught so many. I have ebooks on loan signing now.
Where can people get in touch with you?
Just directly?
For the loan signing opportunities for... Oh my goodness, I've read you even help with budgeting, you'll help with
credit,
business
credit.
Yeah, so I want to do a deeper dive into all these things. I know, okay, you started and you researched, you did, and as I said, you did, and you are, which is wonderful. But how do people get in touch with Katika Neal?
Yes.
And say, Katika, I was listening to your show, and I want to be a notary.
Sure.
Katika, I want to know about taxes.
Sure.
How do they get a hold of you?
Very easy. I am reachable. This is the busiest season of my life. However, I have a great support system that they do help me with phones and things like that when I'm on important shows like today. So you can call me directly at 630-410-1188. My email address is Katika Neal, KATIKANEAL @taxesmadebetter.com. You can go to my website, which is taxesmadebetter.com, fill out an inquiry form.
Beautiful.
I'm on all social media. If you look up Katika, there's only one me, Katika Neal. So serious, you will not meet a Katika Neal, but you can find me. I'm happy to help you or answer any of your questions. Again, I do have a busy season right now, but I will get back to you for sure if you're looking for tax preparation, notary loan signing services, or anything pertaining to business. If you need an LLC, I have a program where they actually set it up for you for no charge. You just pay the state fee, which here is $150.
That's great.
So you pay that to the state, but they do everything for you. So I started to add all these services, and I don't do everything. I'm not, I don't have 100 arms, but I consult for a lot of things and affiliate for a lot of things, because that's where I can still keep everything close to me and people don't have to go and look for people that they don't trust. That's how my name has grown across the nation, because people trust Taxes Made Better. They trust me as a person. I work with integrity, and I make sure that people are taken care of and that I'm honest with you. I educate my clients as well as the team. I educate everyone.
Yes, you do. And I've seen some of the clips from classes that you've taught, and it seems like the classes are full, and it seems like after the class, people are excited, and you have given them hope to truly come out and do something different, but something that they can do on their own time, and something that they could grow as you have, and something that they can feel successful at, and maybe a venue which they didn't even consider. I know for a fact when I read that you were doing notary, I hadn't even thought of notary. I always thought, well, let me go to the currency exchange and let me go, pay whatever it is, or go to the local bank for a notary. Come on. There is some money to be made there.
It's just, it's incredible. And I keep trying, I share it with the world. I even do free classes. Like in December, I gave away seats for what was it? $20, $10, just to get the information out. It's not all about the money. And when you take the money out of your reason, you will be more successful and you'll reach more people if you take the money out.
Say that one more time.
If you take the money out of your reason, then you would be more successful and you will reach more people. Money can sometimes be a barrier to seeing people, you know what I mean, to meeting people, because it's looking for a certain thing. Take that away. I've gotten so many opportunities just because I offered to do something. Sometimes the money is a blockage. It
forward.
It could be a blockage, and just change your mindset there, like with that, and it's deeper than what we look at sometimes. Like, I need to be paid to do this. I need to be paid to do this.
Right.
Yes, if you're going to your W-2 job every day. Yes. But what I'm saying as far as this business world, some things you need to give. Some things you just need to help people with. And I'm telling you, you'll go much further.
Exactly.
I could charge $800 for a tax return. I'm professional and I know what I'm doing.
Correct.
I'm going to explain everything to you correctly, right? So I could do that. But why would I do that when I could charge you half of that and then you tell 10 people?
Right.
We just have to change our mindset. It's not about the money.
I agree with you. And that's why you're successful. It's because you do pay it forward. It's because you do have a purpose. And part of your purpose, of course, is to be successful. As you said, that 14-year-old wanted to make some money.
I did.
And of course, any entrepreneur wants to make money. Absolutely. In order to help people, you have to make money. Okay? If you don't have money, you can't help too many people. So I'm all for that. Absolutely. What kind of talent comes your way that maybe you say this is not for you? Or do you accept everyone that wants to, be a tax professional?
So the answer to that is no. I can't accept everyone who wants to be a tax professional because there are requirements. We need a credential that is required for us to accept payment for tax preparation. That's the first thing.
Okay.
So if you're on TurboTax right now, filing taxes for your friends and family, you're doing it illegally. I'm just going to say, right?
Why?
Because you don't have the proper credential to file the taxes for money. That's all you need is one credential to file taxes and accept money for it. A lot of people and it's so cheap. But if I'm just saying that to say, in order to receive that though, you do have to pass a background check. But that's through the federal government. So it's nothing that I can do to, supersede that or forego that.
Of
Now,
course.
if it were up to me, I'm the type of person that considers people from various backgrounds and, you know, whatever.
Absolutely.
But for this industry and this particular type of opportunity, you need to get that credential, and the federal government issues it.
Is it the same with the Notary Republic?
The notary, they do a background check as well. I think they go back 10 years, to my understanding. Misdemeanors are something that they consider, but again, it's all through them. So I don't have any authority to say, especially with Notary Public, because I don't have the authority to, I'm so sorry, to commission you.
Of course.
Right. So they have to do that. But what I look for, again, what I don't look for, I mean, if you're just, you know, completely going to be dishonest or, you know, misleading to people, that's not someone I want on my team.
For you. Absolutely.
Everything I do, again, is just very either financial or, you know, everything I do. Like I this is why it's funny to me. You can trust me because I'm not going to do anything with anything. I'm a part of everything, like seriously. So I say that to say, you know, just if you do have a background or challenges like that, you know, you just may want to consider something still in the industry where you may not be able to actually prepare the tax returns, but you can be an administrative assistant or, you know, make phone calls. Like I said, I'm not opposed to that.
Right.
It's just the tax preparation and dealing with people's information is just something that the federal government requires you to have.
Absolutely. I completely understand that now. Thank you for the clarification. Yes. Now, with the individuals that have come your way, I'm curious, as an employer myself, things are a little different now. Mm-hmm. Out of the individuals that have come your way, I'm looking for a percentage here, if you don't mind. Say you have trained, I don't know, 20 people. Mm-hmm. How many actually stick with it? How many actually understand it takes work? How many actually understand that if you want your own business, if you call yourself an entrepreneur, you're not waking up at noon. Talk a little bit about that, please.
What percentage of people actually take the information that I provided to them and actually utilize it?
Yes.
And probably 30%, unfortunately.
Right.
I wish it were more because people do pay for my classes, you know, most of the time. So I don't feel good, again, about just I'm taking the money. I really want to see you succeed in it. I really want to see you move forward with the information because it's real. You've been in the work industry for quite some time. Mm-hmm. Okay. What do you think are some of the holdbacks, if you will, for people who really want to do this? People who really want to be a notary, people who go and do everything and they're just rah-rahing themselves. And then the next thing you know, what do you think is the main ingredient that creates pause? I know what it is.
What is it?
It's fear.
Why is that?
It's something that, honestly, fear doesn't even exist. That's the crazy thing about it. Fear is not real. Fear is not real. You are creating fear and you're creating anxiety. Those things don't exist. You got to understand what anxiety and fear, it's something that has not happened yet. So how are you afraid of something or anticipating to be afraid of something that has not occurred?
Okay.
So it's fear, and it's fear because of several reasons. Now, those things would have to be on an individual basis.
Different factors and things, sure.
But ultimately, the answer is fear, and I'm clear on it, and I'm aware of it. And I've spoken to people about it, people who are close to me, people who aren't close to me, people who know me, people who don't know me so well. I've been in a lot of rooms with people, and I'm just asking, okay, XYZ, well, why won't you leave? Well, why won't you leave? You know, don't get me wrong. I don't tell people just quit your job because I can't take care of you.
Right.
I can't take care of you. But if you come to me and you're like, hey, I want to set myself up for success and I want to do this and I want to do this, I'll help you and I'll mentor you, right? But what usually happens is just the person and they're afraid. Mm-hmm. I have a mentorship program right now for taxes. Yeah. It's called the Tax Master Mentorship Program. I started every year in September. And what I've noticed, I have some amazing humans in my mentorship program. I have people in different states and everything.
Mhm.
And they've been preparing taxes and they're doing great. My first year was a learning experience, and I had to learn, about how to recruit and how, how to screen people. So I did it a little bit different this year. It is fear. And I know it to be true because we have some people that come every single week to Zoom class.
Right.
Every single week for 2 hours with me.
Right.
And have not filed a tax return.
What I have found in my industry, Katika, is when people are about to get hired on, I think it's a fear of success, in my opinion. I agree with you that it's we make it up ourselves. There is nothing like that. So I think the word fear itself comes from an anticipation that isn't even there.
Yes.
So we tell ourselves that we are not qualified. We tell ourselves that we're not going to be good at it. We tell ourselves these old tapes, somewhere it came from. It came from somewhere.
It's the memory. Memory.
It definitely has, and it is, and it's definitely there. So walking through that process, if you will, of feeling valued and feeling that you can do. What one thing would you tell individuals? Because a lot of people have fear, especially since COVID, because that was devastating to a lot of people. It was devastating because they lost family members. It was devastating because they lost their jobs, and that's still there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? It took a toll. So what one thing would you say? How do you walk through that door?
I walked through that door because I realized that if it was the other way around, they're going to let me go. So I'm able to walk through that door every single day knowing that I allowed companies to really have my life in their hands.
Yes.
I don't live like that anymore. That experience was enough for me. Beautiful. That experience itself. Because in a world of fear, in a world of illness, a world of uncertainty, we don't know what's going on. People are just dying for no reason,
Mm-hmm.
And the only thing that you could think of was to let me go in a crisis.
Right.
So that did something to me. So what's going to have to happen to every individual that's on the fence right now, or that's like, I think I want to, I really, but something has to happen for you to really understand, like, man, it's all me. It's up to me. It's my decision to do this.
Nobody is going to take you by the hand. Nobody is going to give you a magic pill.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody is going to just whoosh, give you a magic potion and make you successful. And you said that from the very beginning of this show. And I love this. And I hope people find that valuable because you started researching. Nobody said do this.
Mm-mm.
You started exploring because you knew there had to be a better way.
You have to get fed up. I'm telling you, you just do.
And one thing that I'd like to end with is something that I know about you, that I feel you have had courage since the time that I have known your story. And that's been for a while. And that is being an 18-year-old in high school and being told you're going to be a statistics. And you said, look at me, not me. Press in on that, please.
I did. I went to Lane Tech High School, and my last year of high school, I got pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
And I was terrified. I didn't know what to do. I'm like, a baby? Like, I didn't know, could the baby stay at the hospital till I figured it out? Like, I did not understand what was going on. Seriously.
Sure.
I was 17.
Yes.
And you know what? I dealt with that. I didn't tell anyone for a long time. I was just so nervous and afraid and embarrassed. And I just had all these thoughts of what is everyone going to think of me, things like that. I go to this great school and I'm pregnant and I'm like, just thinking everybody it's all caving in on me. And, one day I thought about it. I said, you know what? They came to me and asked me to go to a school that's, I guess, for pregnant teens.
Okay.
And I said, I spent 3 years here at Lane Tech High School. I want to graduate from Lane Tech High
Yes.
School. And I had my son, Gregory, on graduation day.
Beautiful.
I was determined to graduate from high school, and I did, and he did with me. It was at the beginning, I was just terrified, but I'll tell you something, that pushed me to the limits that I just didn't know that even existed for me. And the people that said, oh, she had a baby at 17 and had a baby at graduation day, he came to all of my graduations.
Yes.
And I've been to
Yes. And not only that, I think this is the most important piece for today is pushing through.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I wanted to bring that key component up to your push through. It has just been intense,
mm-hmm.
intense with passion for yourself, intense with value for who you are, and intense with standing in your own self and saying, not me.
And after that, and then I adopted 2 more kids. So I've raised my nephews. Kevin turned 21 yesterday, and Ronald turned 22 on the 6th. So I have all 3 over 21 kids now.
Grown men now,
but
yes.
They are my biological nephews, but they're my sons. I've had them since 1 and 2 years old. And I tell you this, it has been difficult during those years, but I wouldn't change anything because, like I say all the time, I would not be who I am today.
Right.
And I have amazing young men. They're respectful.
Yes,
they're in
are.
college. They work. All 3 of them are working. So they have their own place. And I'm just, I'm very blessed for everything that was afforded to me.
Well, I am very blessed to know you. I'm very blessed that you were able to share your story today. And it's important to know that there's a book out now by John Maxwell. And as some of you know, I'm a John Maxwell certified coach, so I just love John Maxwell. But his book is called Failing Forward.
Mm.
And that's important to know that we fail forward when we take life's pitfalls, the journeys that we think are, why did that happen to me? But when we look at that and we turn it around to thank you for that happening to me, because through that, I have learned. Through those experiences, I have learned what not to do. And that's failing forward.
Mm.
It's amazing. And Katika Neal, I just want to thank you so much for who you are as a person. I want to thank you for what you do for your community. I want to thank you for being just the epitome of strength for young women out there, for older women out there, because life just doesn't stop at any age, and it doesn't start at any age.
That's
it is
right.
just life.
It's life.
And it is what we make of it. And I just admire your journey because you've pushed through. And come back again, would you please?
I'm so grateful to be here. Thank you for inviting me. And I am blessed to know you. So thank you as well. And I will definitely come back anytime.
All right, people, you heard it. What's happening in the world of work? A lot of it is simply up to you. Make it or break it. Fail forward. Thank you so much for your time today. Again, I want to thank everyone at Aurora Cable TV Network for their hard work and for this great opportunity to present this platform to you. Thank you.
Thank you.